guys about just the impact that Sammy has made over the course of these last few weeks, months? I mean, at a time where he's usually a championship wrestler himself, preparing for this next tournament. Like, I mean, what kind of impact has he made on your room, and what do you see?
Since the day Sammy committed, we saw his leadership qualities. Sammy's a people person. He loves the sport deeply. He's been a team guy since day one. The first year he won the Big Tens on the Big Ten Network. He stated, "This is the place to be." Right? So he understands the big picture of recruiting the right people and getting the right people. This incident has only, I would say, revealed more about who he is and what he stands for and how he does things. He's been alongside these guys every step of the way this year. He's coming to travel with us, coming to events. He's back at the mat wrestling. He's in the huddles at the end of a practice. Spends time with guys one-on-one. He's just a good leader, really good leader.
Is part of you shocked that he, returned to the mat so quickly, or is that a part of the plan?
I think there's some from a health standpoint. We didn't know what to expect, right? I mean, the guy's he had a major surgery on his intestines. He's had surgery on his back. I mean, the fact that he's wrestling is not really a surprise because of his will and his love to wrestle. I know that he told the surgeon that if I've got to wrestle on one leg, I'm wrestling again. Like, it's just, there's a determination there that nothing will get in the way of. So, as grateful we are that he's alive, I'm not surprised that he's engaged the way he has in the sport. It's just like, it's a huge part of who he is.
And usually, senior day is kind of, looking back at her career.
Yeah.
It seems like a lot of stuff is like looking forward to what it could be with you guys and his future and things like that. Yeah. Where's his mindset at in terms of just like, getting back to who he was?
Yeah, I mean, he's working extremely hard to be ready next season. There are some things that we don't know might limit him, but what won't limit him is his capacity to suffer and do everything he possibly can to be the best version that he can be, maybe with a really good leg and a leg that's not as good as he wants it. But he's working really hard, and his plan to be back.
Tom, I'm going to ask you maybe a toughie. Let's go back to August. What was that night like?
I've dealt with nights of complete disbelief in my life, and it was just one of those surreal moments. This can't be real. I was with a couple of friends at someone's house for dinner, and my phone kept vibrating, and it was my boss. It was Carrie at the time, Carrie Wood. And she said, "You're call me immediately." And right away, I was going from the table and get to the hospital and get more news, and of course, call his mom and dad once I had enough news to let them know. It's still new. It's still new. When you have something like that hit your program, hit you personally, you need time on your side, and we've got some time, but not enough. So and of course, as you move through the season, when we wrestled Penn State the other night, in the locker room, he said, "You guys have no idea how badly I want to walk out and wrestle for this team and side by side with you guys." So there are benchmarks throughout the season and we're coming up to the Big Tens, where he's been in the finals 4 times and won it twice. And then, so there's a constant walk through this first year of moments where he had planned big things to happen. So, but we're with him, we're alongside him, we're hoping for the best, that he's back to himself next year.
I'm going to ask him this question too, but I'll ask you. He's such a competitive guy, obviously. That's been a big part of wrestling. But coming back to it, has it been maybe kind of cathartic for him? A little bit more normalcy? Does that make sense?
I think if there's there's no question that when you're in the middle of something like this, you struggle to find a deep learning. But time is your friend, and you kind of reflect back and wow, I really transformed. And I think he's in the midst. We're seeing him transform. As much as he was a leader he is, he's been able to really take a step back and find even deeper gratitude for what he does have. And it's been a pretty amazing thing to see him refine himself because we all need refinement and how refined we think we are. And this has really been interesting and really cool to watch.
My last one, pure wrestling question. Is it that the leg right now that is the huge issue? Can you kind of explain?
Yeah, so it would be just it would be your brain telling your body to move in a certain way, and some of those highways right now look like they're lined with honey. Right? They're just not fluid. He's telling it to do something and he can't do it the way he wants it to. But as we all know, through a lot of repetition, refined, deliberate practice, you can reestablish these super highways. And he had super highways. His highways were lined with grease, right? And grease lightning, right? So his goal is to get back to that part of his body moving the way he wants it to move.
So out of 100, where is he?
I'd probably say he's probably about 60.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's pretty cool. I mean, he's wrestling and he can wrestle. And I think what happens, you know, I've never had something like that, so I don't know what it's like experiencing that. But I've seen wrestlers win the Nationals with no legs. Ackerman won it with no legs. They're doing a big movie, which one of our former student athletes is one of the key roles in. Anthony Robles, who had one leg. He was born with one leg and won the Nationals. And it's an amazing thing to watch someone take something that would be considered a big negative and an ailment and make it a positive. And that's only through years and years and hours of figuring out how you got to move to make that leg not a disability. And Sammy has a deep enough love for what he's doing to make that happen, right? If you don't love it enough, you're never gonna get the time. But he has a deep love for it, so he'll be here day and night. And you know, that negative, he'll figure out a way to, I believe he'll figure out a way to turn it into positive. Or at least manage it in a way that he can score points in a different way than he scored last year.
So you got him penciled in at 157?
You know, we don't